Oh my god. It's just it's beautiful. It's so beautiful, guys. So I'm talking about the Batman vs Superman trailer number 2 from Comic-Con. Okay, now right off the bat in this trailer, it just starts with the criticism that Superman is receiving from the end fight of Man of Steel, which I think is just amazing because, you know, that was like the biggest complaint that people had with Man of Steel, and now at the very beginning of this trailer, they're hitting it hard, and he's visiting the White House, and that one shot where it's just him just kind of hovering down, and you see the White House, and it just pans down with him, and you see all these signs that shot so beautifully. You just see that cape just like hover down, and he lands, and then you see a shot of him like, okay, I know what I've done, and I need to accept the consequences. And you know, you can just see it in his face, like he knows that. And you see all these signs behind him that are like hating on Superman. It says God hates aliens. And then you got like all these other signs like Earth belongs to humans, Superman equals illegal alien, just all these picketing signs of people saying, okay, Supes, you gotta go because you killed a lot of people that day. Every single shot in this trailer is so beautiful. So beautiful. There's like the very next scene, he's walking into the courthouse and it's just him. He looks so big. My God, Henry. It's right off the comic book pages. He's just walking in there, and he's standing up straight, and he's just walking in there. He's walking up to the stand, and then he looks up. It's so beautiful, because you know that he's going to talk to the White House about what he's done, and he's going to accept the consequences. And then the next thing you see is Bruce Wayne in Metropolis, the day that Zod and Superman fought. That end fight scene of Man of Steel, that's what's happening right in front of his eyes, okay? And then you see Bruce Wayne screaming, and he's angry because he is actually taking down Wayne Tower. Zod and Superman are just annihilating one of his towers, killing, they say dozens. Personally, it's a huge building. I doubt it was only dozens. But anyway, there's this huge smoke cloud coming out of everybody. Everybody else is running away, like, for their lives. Bruce is running into the smoke cloud, and even when he hits it, he's still going. And then you can just see he's holding this little girl, and you see the Wayne Enterprises logo on the side. It's all like the rubble everywhere, and you can just see the rage and anger in his eyes when he looks up, probably at the building, or maybe even at Superman, I don't know. But he's looking up at something, and you can just see the rage in his eyes. He's super angry, which gives him another motive to try and take down this god who just has too much power. Bruce Wayne even says in this trailer that he says, like, quote, he has the power to wipe out the entire human race, and we have to destroy him. Oh my God, there's so many beautiful shots in this trailer. Then there's this shot of Wayne Manor, and it's in ruins, and it's in like this huge overgrown field, like Bruce just hasn't been in his own home in years, and I think that's Alfred that's walking up to it. But I love how it looks. It looks all war-torn and rusted out and just dirty, and it's all overgrown, like he hasn't used it. Because there were rumors that Bruce Wayne actually has his Batcave under like a beach, not a beach house, but like a lake house somewhere. So he hasn't been in, or he hasn't used Wayne Manor for anything for a while, which I just love this shot. It's so dirty. And then you see a shot of the Batcave, and you see like stairs, and it looks all glass, and it's like flooded underneath, and it's just a bunch of different platforms. This is what I wanted the Batcave to look like. Not an actual cave, it's just underground, and it looks like he himself built it. And it's just And then Bruce Wayne is looking down at this sheet of paper where it says Wayne Tower devastated, and it actually looks like this paper was sent by the Joker, because there's red writing saying, "You let your family die." And there's also, in this very same scene, Bruce Wayne is looking at a Robin costume It's clearly a Robin costume. It took me a while because you really have to look close to see the R, but the costume is just, it's lost all of its color, and it's completely just, like, burned up, like it's been in a fire, and we know that Jason Todd was tortured and then blown up by the Joker, so this would make a lot of sense, and I think that this is kind of a nod to not only the Wayne Tower being destroyed and Bruce letting his Wayne family being killed, but I think the Joker at this point knows who Batman is, and so he's teasing him, saying, "You let your entire family die, Jason Todd included." And then there's this scene of cops coming up to a like an abandoned warehouse or something, and they see this guy just chained up, and on his shoulder is like a seared in, or maybe it's cut out of him, Bat logo, and there's a Batarang sticking in the wall. I just saw that for the first time, where it's just cut and like carved out of his skin, and it's just meat there, and it's the Bat logo. I was like, oh my god, this Batman is brutal, this Batman's not taking any crap, this is the Batman we need, this is the real Batman. And then there's this shot of Perry White, who's talking to Clark Kent, who looks amazing, by the way. Am I the only guy who thinks he looks just ridiculously amazing in those glasses, and just the plaid shirt, just the overall costume of Clark Kent fits Henry Cavill's figure and face so well. I think he looks amazing as Clark Kent, but Perry White is basically telling him that he can't write about the Batman for some reason. I don't even know what's going on, but he says, like, nobody cares about Clark Kent taking on the Batman. And then there's a shot of Amy Adams, who's reaching out and touching and rubbing the symbol of hope, and she looks up at Cal and she says, "This means something. It's all some people have." And then it shifts to this like flooded neighborhood. I guess a hurricane just came through or something, because these houses are flooded and people are sitting on top of the houses with the logo, the Superman logo, the S logo, spray painted on their rooftops, and they're like reaching out to him, and that's actually the shot that we saw initially in the teaser trailer. She's reaching out to him for help, and he's just hovering there. I don't know what's gonna happen next, but then Martha Kent basically says that you can be anything that the people want you to be. That's the only way you'll be accepted. Be their monument, be their god, basically. And so it shows him like saving this rocket from being destroyed. He like takes off the very top just before it explodes, and then that's the shot that we saw in the teaser as well, where he's like bringing it down, stuff like that. Every single shot looks so beautiful. His costume actually looks a little bit more bright in this one, especially in that first scene at the White House when he's like hovering down and then he's standing there. You can actually see the blue and the red, and his cape is so bright, and it's just it's beautiful. But then Martha Kent also says, like, at the same time, or be none of it, because you don't owe this world a thing. You never did. And then he just looks down at her like, okay, so what should I do? But then there's shots of him, again, that we saw from the teaser, where he's standing in this group of people with something weird spray painted on their face, and they're all reaching out to him as a god, and he's just standing there like kind of letting it happen, looking really uneasy, like he's not sure if he should be doing this, or if he deserves to be treated as a god after what he did, because you know he feels bad about killing Zod. You know that even though it wasn't entirely his fault, he feels responsible for all of the deaths in Metropolis. And then there's a shot of Lex Luthor. I don't know if it's a wig. Well, most likely is a wig, like on Jesse Eisenberg, but I'm saying I wonder if they're trying to pull it off as a wig, or if this is his actual hair before he becomes bald, because as far as I know, in the comics, Lex Luthor has kryptonite, which it's confirmed there's kryptonite, and it's not, because I thought kryptonite was going to be kind of like from Man of Steel, what everything was kind of made out of, like that weird metal type stuff, and I didn't know if they were actually going to make it like a glowing green. But you see a shot of Lex like behind this glass cage just looking at it, and it's sitting there, it's this big rock, and it's just glowing green. It's just beautiful. But anyway, in the comics, as far as I know, Lex Luthor is experimenting with kryptonite, and he gets exposed to so much radiation that it causes his hair to just, he starts losing his hair, and so he shaves his head bald. And that's because of the kryptonite. So I wonder if he gets a hold of the kryptonite, and the long hair that he has in this trailer is his actual hair. of Lex Luthor. And then slowly throughout the movie, he just loses it. So by the end of the movie, maybe he's bald. I don't know. He could be wearing a wig. He could already be bald. But I just thought that was a pretty cool thing. And then he uses the line from the trailer. He is talking to the senator. He says, "You know the oldest lie in America, Senator? Devils don't come from hell beneath us. They come from the skies." And you just see this shot of Superman, like, not kneeling before him, but just he might be hurt from the kryptonite or something, but he's bowing down basically, and Lex is just kind of putting his hand around his face, like feeling him, like, "Yes, I'm your leader, bow to me," sort of stuff. And then Superman looks back up and he's just angry. So maybe it has something to do with the kryptonite, or maybe it's just like a kind of thing for Lex Luthor to ask Superman to reason with him, and then, that makes Superman angry. And then you see the shot of General Zod. They open the body bag and you just see his pale body. There was a rumor a while ago that that Lex was going to use Zod's body as an experiment and turn him into Doomsday. I don't know if that's legit, but there are a lot of shots at the end of this trailer where it just shows ruins. Like there's this one shot of a plane just driving through a field that's just on fire everywhere, and then Wonder Woman's fighting someone and she gets knocked back. Wonder Woman looks amazing, by the way. Like, my God, I knew she was gonna look great, but just that one shot where she's being thrown back and she cracks that concrete and then she just like whips her hair back and looks back like, "Do it again, I dare ya." It's just, it's beautiful. But Wonder Woman is fighting something, and I doubt it. It could be Superman, and it could be Batman. It could be just the three of them trying to, like, learn to work together. Like, maybe Batman and Superman are fighting, and then Wonder Woman tries to come in and stop them, and so it just becomes a clash of the Trinity, basically. Or it could be Doomsday. We don't know. But either way, Wonder Woman looks amazing, and there's a lot of destruction. There is actually a shot of LexCorp somewhere else in this trailer that shows, like, fire and bullets and just destruction. So maybe something, Doomsday, escaped from LexCorp, and so that's just something to think about. And then we see Bruce Wayne talking about how he just doesn't trust Superman. Well, before that, he actually says, 20 years in Gotham, how many good guys are left? How many stayed that way? And then we see that shot from the teaser trailer where Superman is coming into that room, and you can't really see his face because it's kind of in shadows, but it's in that one kind of sand-filled room where all those soldiers with his logo are like bowing down before him. But you see a better shot of Superman just walking through that hallway, and he looks pissed. Like, maybe this task force was given to him by the government after he apologizes or whatever he's going to do at the White House as kind of a backup plan to kind of help him in these sort of situations. And maybe, just maybe, they went a little too far and started killing off the bad guys, and Superman doesn't like that. So maybe this scene is him kind of showing them, you need to leave this to me because you're taking it too far. And that's why he's so mad. Oh my God! And then we see, oh my God, the Comic-Con trailer from last year. Just that 40-second tease where Batman's in the armored suit and he just takes off the tarp. He rips the tarp off the bat signal and then just it sparks up because of rain. It's pouring rain, and then you see a close-up of the Bat logo just lighting up, and then he shines it up in the sky, and it just moves up, and you see the Bat signal in the air, and it's the actual Bat logo. It doesn't look all crappy like it did in The Dark Knight. It's the actual Bat logo, and you see the armored suit in the rain and his glowing eyes, and it's just it's beautiful. I'm gonna die. Oh, it's so pretty. And then you see a couple of weird shots. There's a shot of a kid diving underwater, or a man diving underwater. And there's one of two things that little black spot at the bottom left hand of the screen could be. It could either be Aquaman, or it could be, some people have speculated that it's a rock that holds kryptonite. Like maybe he's diving under the part of the Indian Ocean where the World Engine, the other side of the World Engine was at the end of Man of Steel, and maybe that's where Lex got his kryptonite from. And then there's a shot of horses running across a desert wasteland of some sort. I don't know where that came from. And we're going to see Bruce Wayne's origin again, which personally I do not mind at all, as long as they don't spend too much time on it. If it's just like a flashback that Bruce sees, I'm all for it, because I would love to see what Zack Snyder does with that origin, because it's just that one shot where you just see Thomas Wayne, which now it's confirmed that Jeffrey Dean Morgan will play Thomas Wayne, but you can just see the look on his face, like he's scared, but at the same time he's like, he's ready to protect everyone, and he's ready to die for his son. You can just see it in his face. Everyone in this movie just looks so great. And but that one shot where you see the gun and the hammer of the gun just, slow motion come back. I love the slow motion shots that Zack Snyder does, especially in the movie 300. He didn't really have that much slow motion at all in Man of Steel, but I think if he just got the perfect moments to do slow motion, like in that shot in the teaser where Superman's bringing that thing down and you see his cape flowing in slow motion, that would be an epic shot in slow motion. And I just think it's genius, because he knows when the coolest moments for slow motion are going to be, like when the hammer of the gun pulls back, or at the end of the trailer where Superman is walking up to the Batmobile and it's just slow motion and you see his cape just flowing so majestically. Oh my god. And then there's a shot of Batman in the desert wearing some weird desert uniform, fighting off some of Superman's task force with the logos on their shoulders. I don't know how that's going to factor into the story, but I'm interested by it. And then you see Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman. And you just see her like, and then she clashes her whatever, gauntlets. She just clashes, goes, and then this big explosion happens. Oh my god, Wonder Woman looks amazing. Like, they muted down the colors of her suit, but it looks so good. It looks so beautiful. And then we see a really quick shot of the Batmobile driving away and maybe into a wall to evade some sort of explosion. And then we see a glimmer of Batman fighting off what looks to be just normal gang members with guns. And he's just going ham. Like, he pushes one guy out of the way and then just comes down on the other guy's gun, and he's going hard, man. Like, this Batman is not taking crap. And then Alfred starts narrating about how he disagrees with Bruce, that he doesn't think Superman is a threat. He doesn't think Superman is our enemy. He says, "You're going to go to war? He is not our enemy." That's his exact line. And I think that's amazing, because not only is Alfred giving Bruce advice of wisdom, but he's also like on the offense of Bruce, telling him, you can't do this. Superman is not a threat. You got this all wrong. And I just think that's a really cool thing for Alfred to be doing, rather than just sitting back and being like, giving him one-liners of advice, And then you see the shots from the fight between Batman and Superman. This is my favorite shot of the trailer. In the armored suit, he jumps up, he's got the glowing eyes, and he looks so big in that armored suit. Lightning flashes behind him, and then it cuts to the back of Batman. His cape's all wet and it's flowing. Superman's just laying on a skylight, and he looks mad. And then Batman just steps on him. They both go breaking through the skylight, and then they land on the ground. Batman's like, doosh, and he just crushes Superman into the ground, and you can see like the dust kicking up around him, and it's just, oh. And then there's that shot of Wonder Woman going, doosh, and she gets launched back, and the concrete behind her cracks, and then she just looks back like, do it again, I dare ya. And she's got the sword, and she's got the shield, and she looks so perfect. Oh my god. And then you see a shot of Superman flying past all this destruction, and that's what I think Doomsday is going to be, because I don't think Superman would cause that much destruction just going after Batman. I think they really are fighting Doomsday, which, oh my god, would be the coolest thing ever. But anyway, Superman is flying through here, and he's looking super angry, and then he comes up and it does a close-up on his face, and he heat visions. He just goes, and he's looking super angry, and then it cuts to a lot of people's favorite shot from the trailer. Not quite my favorite shot, but second favorite shot, easily, is when Batman has a grappling hook. And it's so beautiful, because Zack Snyder said, okay, I need to pay homage to The Dark Knight Returns. So let's have Batman lean down, have his leg up on the side of a building. He's not quite jumping in the air, but the position he's in with his grappling hook right here, and they'll have the lightning flash in the background. It is so beautiful because it looks exactly like the cover of The Dark Knight Returns where he's leaping through the air like this, except it's Batman! It's Ben Affleck Batman! And it's beautiful. And then you see him grab the grappling hook and he looks this way and he grapples, and as soon as he leaves, he just launches himself off and then heat vision hits. Now, there's been a lot of speculation, including myself, saying, would Superman do that? Even if Superman was super pissed off at Batman, would he really actually take the chance of actually killing him with his heat vision? I don't think he would. I think it's Doomsday. But there have been a lot of people saying, well, if Superman and Batman are in that much of an argument and they don't know that much about each other, they could just be going hard. Like, Batman could just be facing Superman's full force, which would also be an amazing thing to see. But the thing that got me was, there's two different fights. So if it is Batman fighting Superman and the heat vision almost killing him, that means, because he was in his normal Batman attire, he wasn't in the armored suit when he was grappling away. So maybe there's one fight where Batman is on the back foot of Superman, and then there's another fight that starts off with the Comic-Con teaser where he's flipping the signal and shines it up and Superman's in the air like we saw at Comic-Con, where Batman just shows up totally prepared. Behind all this destruction and all these really cool fighting shots, you hear Lex Luthor just narrating, like, black and blue, day versus night, God versus man. And then you just see a whole bunch of these different shots, and it's just every single one of them is shot beautifully, and it looks just, oh my god, it looks ripped straight off of the comic book pages. And then you see a shot that closely zooms in on Superman. I'm guessing he's about to use his heat vision, or now that I'm looking at it, he's got his mouth kind of like, so maybe he's about to use his freeze breath or something, but it closes up and he's like, and his cape is flowing behind him, he looks super mad, and then it shows a shot of Batman crashing through a skylight, potentially fighting Superman. And then there's a shot of Lex Luthor saying, the red capes are coming. The red capes are coming. And I have always been on board with Lex Luthor, with Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor personally. I've always been on board with that, and I'm super on board now that I've seen the trailer, because just the way he narrates, like how he looks down with that like menacing grin on his face when he's like got Superman kneeling before him, and then at the very end when he's like got a drink in his hand and he's just got that, that grin, and he's just menacingly, just the way he talks, he sounds so creepy, and at the same time he still sounds very, very smart. And then the last shot of the trailer, it just fades in from Luthor saying the red capes are coming, and you see the back of Superman just walking, and it's in slow motion, and you see the red cape behind him just floating majestically behind him in slow motion. And then he stands on top of the Batmobile, and he's got both the doors. He rips the doors of the Batmobile off, and you can see like the metal crushed underneath his arms, and then he throws it off to the side, and the ground shakes as the doors hit. And then he just stands there looking down at Batman. The coolest thing about this trailer, gave me goosebumps, he just simply stands up in the Batmobile, slowly and menacingly, and he's saying like, alright, come at me. He's just, oh my god. He stands up, and then it cuts to the logo, cuts to Batman vs. Superman. It's so beautiful, guys. I watched this trailer so many times over the last 3 days. You don't even know. Every shot in this trailer is just pre-thought out, and it's not that handheld shaky cam kind of like we saw a little bit in Man of Steel. It's solid, beautiful cinematography, just still shots, especially when it goes down and you see Superman just floating in front of the White House. It's just like, it's so beautiful. It's right off the pages of the comic, and you can see that both Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman are insanely powerful, and they're going to be going at it, and it's exactly what I wanted, guys. I've seen this trailer so much, I'm obsessing over it, even today, and it's just beautiful. I love it so much. And so let me know what you guys thought of the trailer. How many times have you watched it? Because I've probably in the triple digits by now, but maybe quadruple. I don't even know. But let me know what you guys thought about this trailer. I think it's amazing. I cannot wait for this movie. Still 8 months away, but my god, you guys. I am so excited. All right, I'll talk to you guys next time.